friend, we will discuss the remaining part. In previous lecture, I have discussed freedom of speech and expression, meaning of freedom of speech and expression, different aspects of freedom of speech and expression. Then we have discussed dimension of the freedom of press, different aspect of the freedom of press. In today's lecture, we will discuss ground of restriction. I already said that freedom of speech and expression is not absolute right. Then what are the restriction on it? Then question arises, what are the restriction? Then look at this slide. These are the restriction on freedom of speech and expression. Clause 2 of Article 19 of the Constitution deals with the restriction. First restriction is security of the state. Second, friendly relation with the foreign state. Third, public order. Fourth, decency and morality. Fifth, contempt of court. Sixth, defamation. 7. Incitement of an offense. 8. Sovereignty and integrity of India. These are the 8 restrictions on the freedom of speech and expression. We'll discuss one by one all this in details. Then we'll discuss remaining part, that is freedom of residence, freedom of profession. We'll discuss the remaining part of Article 19 in today's lecture. On this ground, state can restrict the freedom of speech and expression. Then next question arises, who can impose restriction? Who can impose the restriction? Then for that you have to refer Article 12. What is Article 12 of the Constitution? Article 12 of the Constitution deals with the definition of the state. It means state can make a law. State can restrict the freedom of speech and expression on this 8 ground. So you have to go to what is the state? Any authority within which come under the Article 12 of the Constitution are competent to restrict the freedom of speech and expression on this ground. The authority which are competent to make a law can restrict the freedom of speech and expression. So which kind of law? The law made by the authorities. The law which fall under the category of Article 13 Clause 3, general law. So on the all these law, on this all these law deals with the all these law made by the competent authorities can impose a restriction on freedom of speech and expression, but executive has no power to restrict the freedom of speech and expression except legislative authority. They can impose restriction on the freedom of speech and expression. If you go through the number of cases of the Supreme Court, then you will find that the court said in number of cases restriction must be reasonable. So what is the reasonable test of reasonableness? What is the test? Reasonableness. Whether court has laid down the certain guidelines regarding what constitutes reasonable or what not constitutes reasonable. If you go the number of cases, the Supreme Court has said that there is no standard formula. It will depend upon the case to case, circumstance on the basis of circumstances, on the basis of fact on the basis of modern circumstances. So what constitutes reasonable, it will depend upon the circumstances, case to case, fact on the basis of facts. So how to determine the reasonableness? Certain parameter we can say, we'll discuss reasonableness. First parameter is restriction can be imposed by only by legislature. Restriction cannot be imposed by executive. So restriction can be imposed by the only legislature. Next we can say a restriction must be imposed for particular purpose. There must be certain purpose which might legislature want to solve. So particular purpose must be there as per the acts. Next parameter regarding reasonable restriction is restriction must not be arbitrary or excessive. There must be a direct nexus or connection between restriction and object sought. So, if government want to restrict the freedom of speech and expression, there must be reasonable connection with the object sought. Reasonable connection must be there, and these are the parameters on which legislature can restrict the freedom of speech and expression on this age ground. Then we'll move to the next slide that deals with the we'll discuss one by one all this restriction. First restriction, security of the state. So state government can restrict the freedom of speech and expression on the security of the state. So what is the meaning of the security of the state? Discussed in landmark case, that is Ramesh Thapar versus State of Madras. In this case, Supreme Court has occasion to interpret the meaning of the word security of the state. In this case, Supreme Court held that every public disorder will not amount to threatening the security of the state. So only aggravated or serious form of the disorder will amount to the security of the state. Only on that basis freedom of speech and expression can be restricted. So serious form of the disorder, public disorder, which are the rebellions, waging war against the state. These are the serious form of the public disorder. And others disorder, that is normal breach of public disorder, does not amount to the security of the state, threatening the security of the state. That is unlawful assembly, riot, uproar. These are the form of the offense which on which basis state government cannot restrict the freedom of speech and expression as per the Ramesh Thapar versus State of Madras case. Then freedom of speech and expression is a subject to the friendly relation with the foreign state. So this is one of the restriction on the freedom of speech and expression. This ground was not originally in the constitution. It is added by first constitutional amendment. The object of this provision is to prohibit unrestrained malicious propaganda against foreign friendly state. So this kind of provision you will not find in other constitution. This provision in most of the constitution you will not find, but there are certain other ordinary law may be dealing with this kind of provision in foreign state. So what constitutes the foreign state? The next question arises, whether member of the Commonwealth country, whether they are foreign state. For this constitution provision, member of the Commonwealth is not a foreign state. So Pakistan for this provision is not a foreign state. Again, next exception is that any person is criticizing, there is a fair criticism of the foreign policy, then it is not a restriction. It is allowed. Fair criticism of the foreign policy is allowed as per the constitution. Then it does not amount to the restriction. The next point deals with the public order. Originally this ground was not there. This was added by first constitutional amendment. Why it is added? In Ramesh Thapar versus State of Madras, Supreme Court held that every kind of breach is not a threatening the security of the state. So Supreme Court, this ground is added due to the Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court held that only grave form of or serious form of the disorder of the public order, disorder of the public, is a secret amount to the security of the state. Hence, government by first constitution amendment added public order. Public order has not been defined in the constitution. So, in this Ramesh Thapar case, Supreme Court held that normally breach of the public order will not amount to the security of the state. So government has no power to restrict the freedom of speech and expression on normal breach of the public or local breach of the public order. Public order is something more than maintenance of the law. So we'll move to the next slide, that is deals with the decency and morality. Decency and morality is one of the ground to restrict the freedom of speech and expression. So what is the decency and morality? Whether it is defined, it is not defined in the constitution, decency and morality. So what constitutes decency and morality depend upon the place to place, fact to fact on the basis of the circumstances. So one of the landmarks on this is English case landmark is R versus Hicklin. This is a landmark case. In this case, what is amount to the option is test is laid out in this case. Whether this test is applicable to Indian law in Ranjit Udesi versus State of Maharashtra, Supreme Court has accepted this test. So publication is option. Any publication, any writing, if it is option, then then it was then government has a right to restrain that publication. So what amount to the option is a there is a test is laid down in this case in R versus Hicklin case. In this case, Supreme Court held that if it tend to produce a lascivious thought and arouse lustful desire in the mind of the substantial member of that public into whose hand the book is likely to fall. तर एखादं रायटिंग पब्लिकेशन ऑफ द नॉवेल जे काही असेल रायटिंग असेल पिक्चर असेल सॉन्ग असतील ते काही लॅसियस थॉट आणि लसफुल डिझायर क्रिएट करत असतील आणि करप्ट माइंड करप्ट करत असेल तर अशी जे काही पब्लिकेशन असतील ते रिस्ट्रेन करता येईल ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ डिसेन्सी अँड मॉरॅलिटी. ते जर इनडिसेन्स असेल ऑन दॅट बेसिस गव्हर्नमेंटला पॉवर आहे to restrain your freedom of speech and expression. तर सुप्रीम कोर्टने जी आर वर्सेस हॅकलिन मध्ये जी टेस्ट लेट डाऊन केली होती ती एक्सेप्ट केलेली आहे या केसमध्ये. रणजित उदेसी वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ महाराष्ट्राच्या केसमध्ये ती जी टेस्ट लेट डाऊन केली ती एक्सेप्ट केलेली आहे. इन दिस केस द पिटिशनर argued that section 92 to 94 of the IPC violate the freedom of speech and expression. Petitioner also argued that even though section 292 to 294 is constitutionally valid, the novel is not option. So, but finally Supreme Court come to the conclusion the novel is option. What was the name of the novel? Lady Chatterjee's Lovers. This novel is held by the Supreme Court as a option. Then we will discuss next slide. That's next ground of is contempt of courts. Freedom of speech and expression can be curtailed on the basis of contempt of courts. So contempt of courts, there are two types of contempt of courts: civil contempt and criminal contempt. There is a Contempt of Court Act 1971. It depends the contempt of court means civil contempt and criminal contempt. So what is civil contempt? Civil contempt means any person willfully disobedience to any judgment, degree, direction, orders, writs or other process of court, then it is a civil contempt. So next is criminal contempt. What do you mean by criminal contempt? Criminal contempt means any person by exercising freedom of speech and expression tend to lower the image of the judiciary or court, then it is a criminal contempt. Even Article 129 of the Constitution deals with the record of court. Record of court is nothing but a contempt of court. So freedom of speech and expression can be curtailed by the legislature on the basis of contempt of court. So even the judge and individual has the same footing on this point, one just can be trial for the contempt of court. Then we will discuss contempt of court. Sorry. Next point we will discuss, that is defamation. Section 499 of IPC deals with the defamation. So what is defamation? Defamation means injury to reputation. So in injury to reputation, if you go to section 499, you will find the 10 exception is there to the defamation. The defamation is a civil wrong as well as criminal wrong. So there is a uncodified law under the law of tort, defamation, and there is a codified law also, defamation, under the IPC. So any kind of speech, any kind of writing, any kind of freedom of your exercise, freedom of speech and expression, if it is injury to the reputation, then freedom of speech and expression can be restricted on this ground, can be restricted on this ground. So there is a absolute privilege, you will find under the absolute privilege, qualified privilege, parliamentary proceedings. So any parliamentary member enjoy the privilege, even though statement of the person is injuring to the reputation, though it is not a defamation. So parliamentary proceeding is there, absolute privilege is there. You might have learned what is a defamation under law of tort and under the IPC. So I will not discuss in detail the defamation. What is defamation? Next point. Next point deals with the sedition. So sedition is defined under section 124A of the Indian Penal Code. So sedition is not especially mentioned under Article 19 Clause 2 as a ground for the restriction. The sedition as a restriction has been upheld by the Supreme Court in Devi Saran versus State. In this case, Supreme Court held that sedition as a restriction on the freedom of speech and expression. So any kind of speech, any kind of the writing which is hatred or excite or attempt to excite disaffection toward the government, then it is a sedition. So sedition is a cognizable offense, non-bailable offense. So sedition is an offense against states, any kind of offense against states. So freedom of speech and expression is no longer available if your words, spoken or written or visual representation is amount to the sedition. Is a hatred speech is there or excites. For Kanya's case is one of the example of the seditions. Is genuine's case is an example of the sedition. Then we will move to the next. Next is incitement to an offense. Incitement to an offense. On this basis, freedom of speech and expression can be curtailed by the state. Any kind of the words or spoken, if it incite to an offense, then you are not exercising freedom of speech and expression. So on this all 8 points, freedom of speech and expression can be curtailed by the state. All bodies which are within the meaning of the definition of the state can curtail the freedom of speech and expression on this 8 ground. Thank you.